Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's 9 o'clock. It's time for a mat test. Now, this is one of the most popular videos on the channel. What is the mat test? Well, simply put, the mat test is when I take a trick, I show it to Matt, and I get his opinion, and I get him to rate it. Now, the mat test, very simply, is, well, Matt is a guy that works in my office. He's worked with me for a few years now. He works in the sales department of my office, selling packages, entertainment packages to people, whether it be kids' parties, corporates, close-up, stage shows, illusion shows. So he understands how to sell magic. He understands the benefit of having a magician at an event. He's also a performer, a singer, a dancer, an actor, a compere. He's done an awful lot in his career, and he's a very smart guy. And I always find it very interesting when I'm speaking to him about magic, because even though he doesn't really know much beyond the vague understandings of some of the more basic principles of magic, because of his background in performance, he kind of approaches this in a very different way. Now, today, I'm going to do what I've been having a lot of people ask me to do, which is do a mat test on Portal by Peter Eggink. Or actually, you want me to do a Peter Eggink mat test. Now, Portal is the latest trick out, so I've picked Portal, but I am planning on doing a couple more in the past. The interesting thing about Portal is I actually liked it. Myself and Rylan gave it a good review, and said that it was a really good trick. It's, a lot of the stuff Peter's brought out recently hasn't been so great, but this is, a really good trick. So we're going to see if it passes the mat test, and then we'll do some other stuff from Peter in the weeks and months to come. But this is Portal by Peter Eggink. Now, if you don't know what Portal is, the idea is it's a little bit like Acme Portable Hole by Lloyd Barnes. It's the idea of a sticker turning into a hole and then turning back into a sticker. Very interesting gimmick that allows you to do all of this. So let's have a look at the performance to Matt of Portal. Hey Matt, how you doing?
I'm good, dude.
Another day, another mat test.
Oh, okay, cool.
Ready for a trick?
Yeah, sure.
You see something weird about this card case?
Right, apart from the black dot on it.
Well, no, Matt. I'm sorry, that is not a black dot.
Okay.
That, my friend, is a portal into another dimension.
Wow.
I know. It is. It's a portal into another dimension. And I don't expect you to believe me. So I'm going to prove to you by using a pack of cards. Because obviously, if I was going to prove to you that some outlandish scientific principle was true,
You'd use a 52 card.
I'd use a deck of cards. That makes sense, right?
I mean, who wouldn't?
Exactly. So touch a card, any card you want to. That one there. Are you sure? You can change your mind if you want. Are you happy with that card?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, seriously, Matt, if I could tell you the name of that card, would that be good?
Yeah.
Okay. And I want you to see, it's not marked on the back, right? No marks on the back. So the card's the Ten of...
That's genius.
I've been working on that. It's a new technique.
It's
Do you
clever.
like it? I'm impressed with myself, to be
I
perfectly
had no
honest.
idea what you did.
Thank you. That's the mat test. Does it pass?
Yeah, sorry.
So watch this. I'm going to take this portal, and I'm going to put... Now, if I put it on the card, can you see it there, yeah? Can you see it? It looks like there's a black hole in the card, doesn't it? It kind of creates an illusion. It looks like there's a black hole. Does it look like that if I hold it against black?
Yeah.
Kind of a little bit. Does
If you
it?
hold it against black, it does.
Yeah. If I hold it against black, how good does it look? Does it look fairly... It looks good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if I snap my fingers, we get a... hello.
Whoa, hold on a second.
Yeah, hello. Look at that. Isn't that weird?
What the fuck?
Now, it's a portal to another dimension. See, now you believe in this shit. Hang on, let me just... there you go. Do you want to take that? That's it. That's all it is. You can create a portal into a... It's right there. You just have to put it on the card and try it yourself if you want to. That's it. That's what it is. It's a moment of strange, and obviously you're left with everything examinable. What do you think?
What the the fuck happened?
I made a whole reel.
I feel like I need to see it again.
That's the creator of this, and I'll talk about the creator's name in a minute, but the creator of this isn't the first person to come up with this plot. The first person to come up with this plot is a very good friend of yours, or somebody you admire, Lloyd Barnes. And
oh, has Lloyd done it?
this is not Lloyd's trick, but Lloyd created this whole idea of a hole becoming real on a playing card, and he brought it out and called it Acme Portable Hole with Illusionist.
Acme Portable Hole.
This
I love that.
This is called Portal. It's a different take on it. It's a different method. It is a totally different method to what Lloyd's. Well, not totally, but it's different enough method to Lloyd's. And the big difference with this is you start with the card. When Lloyd did his, generally as a rule, he had the hole already on there. He was showing a card with a hole on it, and then he plucked the hole off. With this, you start by picking a free choice of any card. You put the hole on, it becomes a real hole, and then you pull it off again. So it's kind of a different thing. But I mean, similar, but different enough to warrant its own release. But do you like it?
Yeah. It's different, isn't it?
I'm going to tell you the name of the creator, because the creator is somebody you've heard of before, and I didn't want to tell you the creator's name before I got your opinion, just because I thought you might be biased, just because you've heard me talk about this creator in a negative light in the past several times.
Right, okay.
This is created by Peter Eggink.
Okay.
Who is well known for recently releasing stuff that's not that good. And a lot of people have been asking me to do a Peter Eggink trick on the mat test. And this is one that came out recently that me and Ryland both liked in the review show.
It's weird. I feel like I need to see it again. Because
It's very quick.
It's very quick. And something obviously happened. Because
Yeah.
I've tried it a bunch of times. That's not a fucking real hole. There's something happened. And it's weird. Like, it's cool though, it's clever. I like it.
It's got a very interesting visual, hasn't it? Like,
Yeah. Like the holding
Because-
it against your top and stuff.
Yeah,
But when you held it against the top the first time, I was looking at it, and like when you held it up, and I'm like, well, it doesn't really look like a hole. It just looks like a sticker that you put on the front of the car. But then when you held it up against your top, and it's like, oh, actually, if you look at it from here, that does look like it could be a hole on a black background.
This concept is called black art, and it's the concept of how a lot of the illusions we've got down in the warehouse.
Yeah.
How a lot of those work is with this concept, because the actual illusion is made to appear thinner than it actually is. I don't want to give too much away, but it's made to appear thinner than what it is by the use of black material, so that when it's on a stage with a black backdrop, it looks like it's a lot smaller than they actually are down in the warehouse.
Oh, we use the same
black.
principles in theatre.
Yeah, I thought you would. That's why I didn't.
We can make people disappear
Yeah,
with a shadow on a theatre stage.
exactly.
And it's like if you're standing in the wings, somebody takes a step backwards, they're just taking a step backwards. For the audience, if somebody takes a step backwards, they completely disappear.
Yeah.
And it's the lighting and we
Well,
use the black
it's the
backdrops
same
on
with
stage.
this, but done in a close-up situation. This
Yeah.
is
That's the
black
shadow
art.
in the wings.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
then
so
the difference
when you were
here-
holding it here, you just stuck that on and went, look, it's a hole. And I'm like, well, it's not. But then when you held it against there, it does look like it very much could be a hole in the card, because it's exactly the same as the background.
And then you actually have it go
And then
real.
you put your finger through it, and it's like, whoa, hold on. So at some point somewhere, you switched out a card.
No, I didn't.
But it's not an actual hole, is it? You don't make a hole in the
No,
card.
but the card that I put the sticker on, I swear, is the same one with the hole in it.
Okay.
You can just see the gears turning in your head.
But it can't be, because
It
I
is.
picked the card
I'm not gonna lie
and
to you.
held it up. There was no hole in the card.
I'm not lying to you. When I put that sticker on, I was like, can you see it here? Can you see it here? Can you see it here? At that point, honestly, there was no switch of the card. That was the exact same card.
The one that I picked.
It was the exact same card.
Ah, okay,
It
right.
was the exact same card.
So you switched out the card that I picked before you did that.
I'm not saying.
You hesitated, dude. You never hesitate. You never hesitate, and you hesitated. Okay. So it is sleight of hand because you're switching out the card that I picked.
It's a combination of sleight of hand and a gimmick.
Oh, okay. So it's a gimmick. So you switch in the gimmick.
I can't.
There's a gimmick that makes a hole appear in the card, and you switch the gimmick. You switch the card out that I pick for the one with the gimmicks with the hole in it. Okay. It's clever. Where's the gimmick? I want to see it.
There's no gimmick. Well, there's a gimmick, and you're fucking not going to see it.
I mean, if you were to perform that properly in the right environment,
Well, as opposed to how I did it.
no, like you did perform it properly because I didn't see what had happened. If it's like a gimmicked card and stuff, like you've just got to be careful, right? Because if based on that statement is purely based on the conversation that we've just had. If you were to rock up to a gig and go, look, I've got a card, blah blah blah, I'm going to put this hole on it. Look at that hole on that card. How cool is that? And then you can move over here and look how cool that looks like a hole, right? And it doesn't. If you go into wherever you're performing and you've got somebody standing directly in front of you and you go, look, does that look like a hole? And you're holding it against your top, then it does look like a hole.
Yeah.
If you're like this and you've got 20 people around you because you're performing at a wedding and you go, look, there's a hole on the card, it's not going to work, is it?
Yeah. So the angle issues are important on this.
Yeah, and angle issues I'm well aware of because we have that a massive amount in theatre. Because everything that we do, we're being looked at 120 degrees or whatever it is, 110 degrees, whatever the theatre scope is on the stage. Because you've got an audience in front of you and they're both sides. So everything that we do, we've got an issue with something that we're doing in Rocky at the moment. Because what we do, where I have to be at a certain point on stage, the very end 2 rows of certain theatres are going to be able to see me, and they can't. So it's all about angle, and it's all about, we're having to change that bit section up completely for the angles. And this trick very much looks like it's got that kind of same issue.
Yeah, as a magician, one of the things that you have
be
to
able to
constantly think about is angles, because
and it's not very
something that looks really good from one place might not look very good from a different place.
Yeah. So if you were standing directly in front of me and I go, look, but other than the fact that this is blue, not black, but...
Well, that's the other thing. If you're a performer, don't wear a white shirt.
Yeah, you've got to wear a black top every time you perform this trick, haven't you? But if you're doing it like that and you're performing to somebody there, great, but you can see that that's not a hole. But the way that you did it, when you actually pulled it against your top, when you were doing it there, it was like, it's just a sticker on a card. When you're doing it there, you're like, oh yeah, it could actually be a hole. And then it is a hole. Which is clever. I do like it. It's a good trick. I think it's just limited on where you could perform it.
You are absolutely right. Me and Ryan both liked it. He likes it to put it on Instagram because he does a lot of Instagram.
Yeah, that'd be perfect for that kind of thing, wouldn't it? It'd be perfect for like an online trick.
And you've got control of
You've
the
got
angles.
control of everything, and you've got control of you've got thousands of people watching that trick, but you are in control of the angle of those thousands of people.
Exactly.
If you walked into a venue and all of a sudden you had 10, 15 people come up to you and be like,
even if you're performing it to a small group of 2 at a gig, you could have people come in at a moment's notice, and you have to be careful. That's close-up magicians. They really need to think about angles. It's such an important thing to think about.
Yeah, and that you wouldn't be able to perform that in that kind of environment because you'd get. I mean, I don't know what it would look like from a different angle because I didn't see it, but I mean, I would imagine that it would give something away. But yeah, no, I think it's good. I actually quite like it. The way that you performed it, and in this scenario, when I could look at you dead on, that's a good trick, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome. Pass the mat test?
Yeah, I think so.
There you go. Peter Eggink.
I mean, I don't know the guy. Like, I know there's been beef.
Beef?
Or like, beef. You know what I mean? Like, there's
beef.
There's certain tricks of his that he's released that you haven't been particularly fond of.
When are you going to understand that I'm adorable and everybody loves me?
Yeah, you're like a big box of puppies.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Big box of puppies.
But there's certain tricks that he's released that you've not been fond of.
Majority of them in the last 2 years have been have been ranging from utter shite to pants, depending on...
I mean, does he even know that you don't like them?
Nah, I'm sure he's not aware of it. He's too busy in his garden. He films all of his tricks in his garden.
Oh, okay. Where's he from?
Somewhere in the Netherlands.
Oh, okay.
Netherland area, somewhere around there.
Has he only produced tricks in the summer?
I've never seen him in the garden in the winter. Maybe hibernates.
Yeah, you don't want to be performing stuff in Holland in the winter. It'd be freezing in his garden.
Yeah, right.
Good God.
Probably, but he does have an unhealthy obsession with holes. Like this is Portal, the one he did before this. This is the best name for a trick ever. Ring hole. I'll do a mat test on that. Ring hole. Peter Eggink wants you to see his ring hole. That was the trailer.
What, he mentioned me?
No.
Hold on. The trick is called ring hole.
Yes, that's the trick. It's called ring hole.
Serious? It's not.
Seriously.
You've not changed it into.
No, it's called ring hole. I think it got lost in translation a little bit. I don't think ring hole in the Netherlands means what ring hole means in here.
That's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
Oh, bless him. He needs to change that.
Oh, people might say he's talking out of his ring hole, but Portal passes the mat test.
Oh, yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good.
I can see that you're not blown away like you normally are, but you're not underwhelmed. I think you're just whelmed.
Yeah,
Is that a thing?
just
You can be overwhelmed.
yeah.
You can be underwhelmed.
I'm just whelmed.
You're
yeah.
just whelmed.
No, it's good. I think it's just from a performance aspect, like it's limited, so it's not going to take the world by storm because you're not actually going to be able to go out in the world and perform it.
Yeah.
If you're just somebody that performs tricks on social media, fucking kills. That'd be brilliant on social media. You'd kill it, but you're not actually going to be able to go out and perform that to real people in the real world, are you?
Well, you are, but it's going to be very limited where you can do it.
Well, I mean, only if you can make sure that the person you're performing to stands directly in front of you and doesn't move at all, and you're 100% sure that no one's going to come from either side.
Yeah.
So what kind of gigging scenario would you be in when that's a possibility?
Parlour show?
Like, I could go and show it to my dad, because, like, he ain't going to move. He'll just sit in his chair. But, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you, a parlour show maybe, would you be able to do that? Would it work from a distance? Because parlour shows, you've got, like, big group of people in front of you and you're not, like, on their laps, are you?
Maybe not.
And it's just one card with an even smaller hole in it. I don't know if it'd work at, like, a distance, but I don't know. I like it. I think it was good. Like, I enjoyed watching you do it. I enjoyed the trick here in this scenario.
But you just think it's limited in terms of application?
Yeah.
And based on, obviously, the fact that you sell magic for us.
Yeah.
So you
I
know
sell magic and I'm a performer. And from a performance aspect, which a lot of my opinions on these things come from a performance aspect because that's all I know. And from a performance aspect, that's flawed because you can't perform it.
No.
So it's great, and I liked it here in this scenario, but you can't go out in the real world and do it. So
Yeah. But there's a lot of hobbyist magicians that just have friends come around their house and they can say, hey, stand there.
yeah, cool. But you're not one of those.
No.
So if you're a hobbyist magician or just a magician that does stuff on social media,
Great.
buy it. Is it expensive?
No.
Oh, if it's not expensive, then yeah.
30 quid, something like that.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, if you've got 30 quid to spend just to do something on social media and it's going to get you some followers and some likes, go for it. But if you're an actual professional gigging magician, I don't see the point.
Thank you very much, Matt.
You're welcome.
So there you go, guys. That's Portal by Peter Eggink right here on the mat test. Found it really interesting, and this is something that we kind of mentioned in the review, but we didn't really highlight that much, which is the places that you can perform this are very limited. And it is true, it is very limited as to how you can perform this. You know, it's because it relies completely on black art. It's not something that you can do when you're completely crowded. Like Matt said, you need to make sure that you're completely aware of your angles, and that's very, very true. And that's something that you kind of need to take into consideration. The other thing, and obviously Matt pointed that out, and he's completely correct to point it out, but the other thing that I found really interesting is that Matt just automatically assumed that I was switching the card for a card with a hole in it. And I think the problem with this trick is that that's the only logical explanation for what you're doing here. The only logical explanation for what's happening here is that you're switching a card for one with a hole in it. which is what you're doing, right? You compare that to the original Acme portable hole. It was framed in a different way. With the original Acme portable hole, you were showing a card with a hole in it, and then the sticker appeared, and you just pulled the sticker off. With this, you're showing the sticker, you're making the hole appear, and then you're making it go back into a sticker. And it's interesting that he leapt for a switch immediately, and he was like, there's no other way you could do this other than a switch. Because I think that tricks like this, that's the problem. The problem is that the method for it is the first obvious explanation that the spectator will come up with. And the problem is, with the way that the routine has been constructed by Peter, after you've finished pulling the hole off, you have to put the card back onto the deck in order to do a move, in order to clean up and have the card and the rest of the deck examined. And there's no real motivation for doing that. There's no reason for putting that card back onto the deck. Realistically, if I could really do magic, I would pull that hole off and then I would just hand him the card. And I'm pretty sure that if I did that, Matt would be completely blown away. He would have been more impressed with that than if I had to do what I had to do, which was taking the card back, putting it on top of the deck, and then putting it down onto the table. Because I think that makes people think that there's going to be some sort of switch. And laymen aren't stupid. I've talked about this on the channel before. Laymen aren't stupid. They understand about the concept of switching. They understand the concept of, the magician being able to switch one object for another. So if they're aware of that, should you do a trick where the obvious method is the actual solution? Because, there's certain spectators out there, they're just looking for secrets. That's all they want. They just want to know how the trick works. And once they think that they know how the trick works, even if that's not how it works, they're satisfied. And then at that point, it might not be as good a trick as it would have been if they couldn't have come to that method. So the fact that you can't have that card examined, or you can't hand that card out, could be perceived as an issue or a negative, really, to be perfectly honest. I mean, that's debatable. It's something that Matt absolutely, definitely brought out. I stand by my review. Ryland stands by his review. This is a decent trick. It's not the best trick in the world. It's not going to, blow the roof off the building, but it's a decent trick. It's not bad. It's a moment of strange. But I think it leaves more questions than answers. And I think that's why I like the portable hole, the Acme portable hole that Lloyd did more. And the reason is you're showing a card with a hole in, and then you're peeling that hole off, and you're giving them the hole. It's the hole they want to examine. And then that gives you a reason to switch the card while the focus is put on the hole. But with this, you're showing the hole at the beginning, so their curiosity is satisfied about the hole. You're then putting it onto the card to make a hole appear. And I think maybe the routining of that is a little bit skew-if and wrong. I don't know. I'm going to do a review show revisited on it at some point because I still like it. I stand by the review. But it's interesting, Matt's thoughts. He wasn't blown away by it. Like, I know Matt well enough to know, he didn't hate it, absolutely, but he didn't think it was the best trick in the world. And it was very interesting to see that. So there you go. I mean, it passed the Matt test to a point. But as Matt said, you need to be careful of the environment in which you're performing it, and your audience management and your angles, all stuff like that, and your clothing choice. Everything like that is very important in order to perform this in the real world. So there you go, guys. That's another Matt test in the bag. Do me a favor. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. You want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Please don't forget, I'm going to be back again tomorrow with another video, or another couple of videos, or 3 videos, or a ton of videos. And also, if you haven't already joined the NETRIX, please do so. www.thenetrix.com. Most of my effort goes into making the NETRIX amazing. We've just massively boosted up the theory section. We're adding even more theory over the next 3 or 4 weeks, and we're just about to add a stage section and talk about a whole bunch of stage magic as well. So every day we're improving it, every day we're making it better, and we ain't stopping yet. So if you haven't checked out the NETRIX, please do so. Either way, I'm going to be back here on Magic TV again soon. So thanks very much for watching. My name's Craig from Magic TV.